What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Meek Mill, Lil Baby, and Lil Durk type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post notifications on, make sure you do so because those help it a lot. So let's hop right into it. So first things first, BPM. I think 150 to 160 is great for this style. Here we have our sounds. I'll go through them as we make the melody and everything. Scale. So just going to use a minor, simple as that. You could probably sometimes use a harmonic minor, but I think just a minor. We can go with a D sharp minor here. So let's go ahead and start making a melody. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using for our bell, something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now with this style, you want to keep this very simple, and the easiest way to do this is just stay along these half steps, okay, like this, and stay as close as you can. You can go off, but when you go off, it's going to start to sound very melodic or like sad. So you don't want that. You want this to be kind of serious and dark. So we want to stay along those lines. So we are in our D sharp. So we can start on that note first. So maybe something like this. I should probably change. Well, that's good grid. Let's turn this down. So like I said, we want to stay along those lines. So what we can do is go up octaves as well, right? Because some people may think, oh, you know, you can only use these notes in this range, but we can use these same notes. We'll go up an octave, right? And let me make this smaller. And then we can use these two notes. Let's copy it over and then maybe make some changes. Right, and then we could just copy this over the whole time. All right, let's play it one more time. Okay, and I like that, and I'm gonna just copy this over. And we're done with our build, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so next up we have our piano, and keep in mind these instruments I'm showing you are sounds that you need for the style. So everything you see here you'll need for this style specifically. So this is the piano I'm using. So with this, I'm gonna go a little bit lower because I don't want these to overlap necessarily. So I'm gonna pull this down, and then we can kind of just keep a consistent rhythm. Something like that. And then we're just gonna stay along these notes here. Okay, and I'm gonna just pull these to the side so you can remember. I'm gonna bleed these a bit, and we can copy this over, and then we can pull these up an octave just to be lazy, make it sound different. Okay, and that's the piano, so let's move on to the next little instrument. All right, so now we need to add some texture. Now you can use any texture you want from any VST. This is just the one I'm using, but this is very important for this style or any dark beat really, because it kind of sets the mood or adds to the mood. So I'm just using this preset called Nano Flies. And this does have like a little bit of melodic element to it. So I'm gonna just use this little trick where you just shift down to note 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can just copy it over because this is just supposed to be in the background really. All right, so that's it for the texture, and let's move on. All right, so next up we have like a vocal or a chant, so something that sounds similar to this. All right, so you can define this in the VST, or if you just have like a sample or something like that will work. But in here, you can just click these little random phrases, and then you want to put it on staccato mode in order to get this. Okay, so same thing, we want to stick with those same kind of notes. All right. And I think what I'm gonna do, because I'm not sure if this is gonna actually sound too good, just bare bones, we can do some processing later. So let's. All right, so we're definitely gonna need to add some effects on this, but we can just keep this going. And really, I think this will be fine. We just copy this over, and then maybe. Okay, I think that'll be fine for now, and then we can just add some processing later when we finish the bass. All right, so that's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and add some bass in here. All right, so here's the bass, and this is just a custom preset here. I'll just play it. Okay, so with this, you have a lot of options, right? You can start on the root, and you could shrink this, do something like this. You can stay along these little notes here, right? You can do something like this, something like that, right? If you want to, you can go up, right? It's a lot of stuff you can do with combos because we don't really have a set chord progression, so we're not locked into one single like bass line. So what we can do is go back to our original. We can look at the notes we have. So we got B's here, in the D sharp. So we can go from the D sharp to the B if we really want to follow like the rules. And then we could just fill in the blanks to get here. So do something like this, and then maybe let's do this little pattern. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, simple as that. So we got a bass line, and let's go ahead and do our 808. All right, so for our 808, this should be very simple. We can just copy this as a guideline. It doesn't have to be exactly this. And then Shift D to make it smaller. And then we can kind of, what you want to do with this style really is just make the 808 very active. Okay, you want to make it super active as you can. Okay, but you don't want your 808 to be annoying, like have a lot of distortion, because it'll obviously get annoying over time. And let's put... All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a pattern, and then I'm gonna just show you the pattern when I finish. All right, so here it is, the full pattern. You can see it's very active. You could do more than this. I'm just keeping it basic, so let's go ahead and play it. I just added that kick in there. So that is the 808 and kick. So let's move on to the drums, which we only have 3 to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on the drums. Now, the drums for this style are usually a lot simpler than people think. You can add more, of course, but I think this is just all you need. Just like a clap, a perk, and then the hi-hat. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and make a basic pattern, and then we can come back and then we can do the processing and everything. Okay, so the drums are done. I'll just play it one time through. Very simple, like I said. All right, you can see we really don't need too much. It's already full enough. So what we're gonna do now is just go through some processing. I'm gonna go ahead and load up some presets. We can kind of work on these chants so they can kind of sound a lot better in this beat. Okay, so I got my mixer all set up for post-processing, and I just loaded in some presets and plugins. And the reason I show this is so people can kind of get an idea of what they can put on their own tracks and stuff. So starting here, I usually just put my main drums into a bus except my low end. And then for this one, since we have only 3 sounds, I just decided to throw a little reverb, all right, with the convolver. And then I just add like pretty much an EQ to boost some of the frequency so it's clearer. And I'll turn it off and on. Right, sounds a little bit better. Okay, and then the kick, just mono, and then my 808. So for my 808, I always take out a little bit of the low frequencies, and then I boost the sub with this plugin. I use the fat bottom preset, and then I'll turn it on and off, and it turns on, and it makes it a lot more, I guess, subby. Okay, so for the melodies now. This on my melody bus, I usually put RC20 or sketch cassette. And this is just the default, I believe. And I just turn this from new to used. Okay. And then bass is self-explanatory, just simple. Now for the chants, this is the big part. This is actually custom. So I use Valhalla. I'll put this on all my vocals. Okay, you can copy it if you really, care that much. You can screenshot that. This is just reverb pretty much. And then I added this EQ, and then the best part here is the shaper box. Okay, Now this is gonna give it some rhythm, so it's not so like, you know, I'll just play it real quick. Right, that's kind of annoying and you can't really rap over that, so adding these right sounds 10 times better. And I just want to show y'all this is how important this part is too when making your beats. And then just a little shimmer on the piano, the bell. I don't even know what I have here. Yeah, I don't even know what's here. Probably don't even need that, honestly. All right, and then texture, just take out some of the low end, and then you need to play with the bass. And then frequency splitter, this is a really good plugin for FL. And then of course a soft clipper. Okay, and that is it for this video. That's how you make a Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Lil Durk type beat. Hopefully it's helpful. Make sure y'all like and subscribe if y'all new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.